Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to your daily edition of the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, we are going to look at India versus West Indies. Today was the first day of the third Test match, and I thought on a pitch which was definitely going to aid the pace bowlers in St. Lucia, I thought the West Indies pace bowlers did a fine job to have the Indians at 234. In fact, their situation was much worse, only thanks to Ravichandran-Ashwin and Saha, who already put on more than 100 runs for the seventh wicket and really stalling the West Indies there. And that's the precise reason they finished on 234, which I'll be talking about. And New Zealand versus Zimbabwe, well, in fact, Zimbabwe were all out for 362, so they still had another 20 runs to actually, they were just fell 20 runs short of the follow-on target. But Kane Williamson, the New Zealand skipper, decided that he's not going to enforce the follow-on, and he decided to send his troops there to bat, and they batted in the second innings and they declared very pretty quickly. And with Kane Williamson wanting a result, now the match hangs in the balance with Zimbabwe chasing 387 for victory in the second innings, are needing 329 runs tomorrow with 7 wickets in hand, with 90 full overs remaining. And as far as cricket news is concerned, the news coming in is that Carlos Brathwaite, the hero in the World Cup, T20 World Cup finals against England, has been named the new captain of the T20 team after Darren Sammy, as you know, will no longer captain the West Indies cricket team, as you would know about that. And then and there's no space for Darren Sammy or Dinesh Ramadhan in the team. So Darren Sammy has also been dropped from the team. Not only has been removed as skipper, there's also been dropped from the team. And the other news is that coming from Pakistan, where Umar Gul has made it back to the Pakistan team, which I'll be talking about if I get time. But first, let's head off to the India-West Indies match and see as to what really happened. So all the eyes were on this particular match, St. Lucia Stadium, Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia. And we know there's no Darren Sammy in the team. And it was West Indies who had the luck of winning the toss. There was a very good toss to win, according to me. As I said, the pitch was definitely, there was some moisture in the pitch, and we definitely saw the ball doing a lot of things. The ball was bouncing well, there was nice sideways movement, and batting was not at all easy. And West Indies decided to blood Alzari Joseph, the tall under-19 World Cup bowler today, and he did a fine job picking up a very prized wicket of the Indian captain Virat Kohli. And what else? That could be a bowler's dream wicket, I would say. And as far as the Indians were concerned, they decided to drop Murli Vijay, and they also dropped Rohit Sharma, which came as a surprise. Not Rohit Sharma. They decided to drop Murli Vijay, and also they dropped Cheteshwar Pujara, which was a surprise for me. Cheteshwar Pujara I could expect. Murli Vijay I was a bit surprised. And they decided to go in with Rohit Sharma coming into the team, and Ravindra Jadeja and Bhuvneshwar Kumar also making the team there, which I'll be talking about. So as I said, the pitch was not easy to bat on. So West Indies winning the toss and electing to bat, and having the new cherry in their hands really made it swing beautifully. As that bounce, everything was available for the West Indies pacers. And Shikhar Dhawan was the first victim, as he fended at a delivery from Shannon Gabriel down the leg side into the hands of Shane Dowditch. So he was the first wicket to go. So that was a very quick breakthrough for the West Indians after inserting the Indians in. And then look at this. Alzari Joseph, the tall, lanky bowler, was making his debut. And what else can you expect? A maiden test wicket in the form of the Indian captain Virat Kohli. As I said, the ball was moving about, there was movement. And this particular ball from Alzari Joseph was neither short nor wide, and not full, I would say. And Virat Kohli went at it hard. He tried to actually slap it away, trying to cut the delivery, and it was Bravo in the slips taking the catch. And Alzari Joseph was joyous, no doubt about it. As I said, it's any bowler's dream wicket here. And what a way to way for Alzari Joseph, the under-19 World Cup bowler, to start his international test career by picking up the very big wicket of Virat Kohli, the Indian captain, for 3, and India were put on the back foot right away at 19 for 2. KL Rahul was there weathering the West Indian Pacers with the West Indian pace attack looking much sharper than the previous 2 test matches. Also there was assistance on the pitch too. So Shannon Gabriel, Alzari Joseph, Miguel Cummins and Jason Holder were in at the Indians, and Rahul and Rahane were the ones who were actually weathering that. Rahane had a tough time weathering them. He had to really be very careful with his stroke making, and KL Rahul was one who was definitely weathering the bouncers, but at the same time he was making sure he was getting the runs as he was stroking the loose balls for some very good boundaries as the score slowly started moving along. And then there was a partnership that happened which actually settled down the Indian team here as the score moved on to 77. So one could say it was almost 58 runs which was added between them, and then Roston Chase, the hero in the second test match, was with the ball, and with his right arm off spin he forced Rahul to play a stroke, and Brathwaite picking up the catch. He was gone for 50 with 6 boundaries. And after that, Rohit Sharma, as I said, came in today, and Rohit Sharma, well, he definitely didn't have it his own way. He was definitely struggling. And another wicket, and this was the second test wicket for Alzari Joseph, the test debutant bowler, as he got an outswinger going for him, and Rohit Sharma went and chased it, and Shane Dowrich behind the stumps taking a neat catch. So he was gone for 9. It made it 87 for 4, and India were in definite trouble. Ajinkya Rahane was there in the centre as Ravichandran-Ashwin walked in. But after that, when the score with Ashwin and Rahane pushing the score on to 126, there was another wicket which fell, and this time it was the turn of Ajinkya Rahane to go, as he went to actually hit a full toss delivery and totally missed the line of the ball and saw his stumps rearranged. So Rahane was bowled by Roston Chase for 35 with 4 boundaries. And now it was a very, very tough situation for India, with the score reading 126 for 5, Ravichandran-Ashwin and Riddhiman Saha in the middle. And one has to say, Ravichandran-Ashwin and Riddhiman Saha also lived their life, I would say. They played some airy-fairy strokes in the centre. And but the good thing for India was that Ravichandran-Ashwin and Riddhiman Saha, what a rescue act they created. From 126 for 5, they took India to close of play at 234 for 5. A very good effort, I thought, because as I said, the pitch was not easy to bat on. The ball was doing all sorts of things, and one has to really credit the pair of Ravichandran-Ashwin, who really buckled down to the task in an admirable manner, and also Riddhiman Saha. Even though they played some airy-fairy strokes, they another good thing. Even though the second new ball was claimed, that was also blunted by this very good pair of Ravichandran-Ashwin and Riddhiman Saha, as Riddhiman Saha finished on an unbeaten 46 with 4 boundaries, and Ravichandran-Ashwin playing a great hand, not out on 75 with 4 fours, looking forward probably to his 3rd test century against the West Indies. And West Indies happened to be very lucky for Ravichandran-Ashwin. So India closing at 234 for 5, so it's a very good partnership. From 126, they added 108 runs unbroken, and that too they have already weathered the new ball. Yes, they definitely will have still a test and still some batting to come in the form of Ravindra Jadeja. So definitely India will be hoping that they can probably go over the 300 mark, and probably Ashwin could get on to a century. Well, as far as the bowling was concerned, let's look at Alzari Joseph, the test debutant bowler, the tall guy. 14 overs, 3 minutes, 38 runs and 2 wickets. A very, very impressive test debut for him, picking up the prize scalps of Virat Kohli, the Indian captain, and Rohit Sharma. Shannon Gabriel, 16 overs, 2 maidens, 68 runs and 1 wicket. Cummins, 14 overs, 5 maidens, none for 36, still hunting for his first test wicket, one could say. Jason Holder, 15 overs, 6 maidens, none for 27 bowls. Roston Chase had some work to do, 23 overs, 8 maidens, 38 runs and 2 wickets. Also did a fine job. Brathwaite 8 overs, 1 made and none for 20. As far as West Indies were concerned, they had Leon Johnson, the opening batsman, coming into the team, and that was the only change, and Alzari Joseph coming into the team, as you would know. So that is as far as the West Indies versus India match is concerned. Now let's turn our attention to the next match, which is, we are talking about the Zimbabwe versus New Zealand match. And Zimbabwe, one was hoping that definitely Craig Irvine did a fine job. He carried on and added another 31 runs to his overnight score of 115, as he made 146 with 18 fours and 1 6. And after that, but the tail really collapsed. Creamer could not provide any support. He was LBW bowled for 8. Tripano dismissed for 3 by Wagner. Nimbu departed for 8. And that left Zimbabwe 362 all out, as I said. And they finished 20 runs short of the follow-on target. But one was probably thinking that Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, is going to enforce the follow-on. But surprise of surprises, he decided decided that his batsman will bat, and so he did not enforce the follow-on on Zimbabwe. The bowling for New Zealand, 4 for 60 for Ish Sodhi, 21.4 overs, 9 maidens, 60 runs and 4 wickets. I thought he bowled superbly, and 2 wickets apiece to Santner and Wagner, and 1 wicket to Saudi, 1 wicket each to Saudi and bowled. Now New Zealand started off their second dig, and they were in immediate trouble. But they had a huge lead, as you would remember, from 362 all out. So it was basically, I would say, 220 runs, and that was a mighty lead for them. And that gave them the cushion of going for their strokes. And we saw that in the New Zealand in their second dig, lost their wickets early. The first wicket to go was Tom Latham, the Centurion, in the first innings, as he was caught by Moore of the bowling of Tripano for 13 with 1 4 and 1 6. And we saw Martin Guptill edging 1 to Nimbu of the bowling of Chinoya for 11, and which left them at 26 for 2. But after that, there was nothing to really, there was everything to look forward to for New Zealand, as the pair of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor got about it in a business-like manner, with Williamson unbeaten on 68 with 6 boundaries, and Ross Taylor unbeaten on 67 with 4 fours and 3 sixes. 166 for 2. New Zealand decided, the New Zealand captain decided to declare the innings closed, thus setting the Zimbabweans a target of 387 runs to win. And Zimbabwe, well, they lost 3 wickets. In fact, Mavoyo and Chibaba did a fine job in the openers, as they did in the first innings, by putting on 45 for the first wicket, by really selecting the balls to actually play strokes off, as this partnership added a very neat 45 runs. But after that, the 3 wickets fell pretty quickly towards the close of play. As it was Chibaba the first to go, caught Guptill bowled Wagner for 21 with 4 boundaries, and then Mavoyo followed him just before the close of play. Mavoyo was LBW bowled for 35 with 5 boundaries, and Sikandar Raza was an early victim, as Saudi actually wrapped him LBW for naught, leaving the night watchman Tripano not out on naught. And Zimbabwe 58 for 3 on the morrow now, requiring 329 more runs to actually win the test match. And they have full 90 overs to go, and should be an interesting affair. But Zimbabwe probably have a challenge here. Either they can, the best thing that Zimbabwe can do is that somebody has to stay there the whole hog and try to actually draw the match. But all in all, one will be looking forward to another good Zimbabwe fight back tomorrow. Let's see what happens. And as far as cricket news is concerned, as I was talking about, the cricket news that is coming in from the West Indies, that Carlos Brathwaite, the T20 World Cup hero in the finals, has been named the new T20 captain, who will actually be the captain for the T20s against India. And the surprise is Sami not only has been axed as captain, he has also been axed as a player. And Dinesh Ramadhan once again does not find a place in this 13-man squad. Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to really dwell on the squads. That is something which I'll do it on Twitter. And the other news is that, which is good news for Pakistan, is that that Umar Gul, who was a forgotten bowler of Pakistan, has finally made the cut, and he has been called in England for the one-day international series against England. And I think that's good news. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I'm definitely running short of time. It's about time for me to end this cricket show. but definitely look on to Twitter, and I will be definitely tweeting about a lot of things today. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings as always. This is your host Ram bidding good night.